The tragic fire in San Pedro during and even after the firefighting has brought into sharp focus several issues concerning the response by the National Fire Service on the island. There is a severe lack of resources on a tourist destination that is fast growing. The 2 water trucks at the San Pedro station are inadequate to service big fires. Fire officials say they received the call around 3:30, 45 minutes after the blaze started.
There are 2 units in San Pedro. These units, compared to what we have here in Belize City, are pretty much small. The combine of both trucks, I think, has an approximate 700 gallons. If you get on the scene and you use 3 lengths of hose, 70 millimeter by 100 foot length, it takes 30 gallons to fill 1 length of hose. That's 90 gallons. If you're using 2 branch pipe that discharge 100 gallons per minute, that's 290 gallons per minute being discharged. Out of 700 gallons, you have at least just over 2.5 minutes firefighting before the trucks have to leave the scene to find water supply. And that is what have occurred.
An official report from the National Fire Service is pending as investigations continued today at the scene in the Escalante subdivision on the island. Minister Edmund Castro, aside from sharing condolences with the family, says that he is expecting a full report on what transpired.
We're getting my brief from the fire department as to what went good and what went wrong, and see how we could best improve. Each time there's an emergency or a fire, we try to sit down and see how best we could do and do a better job next time.
Are you looking to improve the equipment of the firefighters out there?
It's a constant struggle that we're constantly trying to improve the equipment that we have. Some of our trucks are very old, some are from 1969, but with the limited resources, we are doing our best to make sure that we could do a little bit better each time.
Officials at the National Fire Service have been clamoring for better and upgraded equipment. In recent times in the world's capital, several trucks malfunctioned during firefighting efforts. In the case of San Pedro, in July 2014, 16 families were left homeless following an overnight fire in the San Mateo area. And then in June 2016, there was another massive inferno on Pescador Drive in the center of the town, in which 88 persons were left homeless after the biggest fire in the history of the island occurred. Residents say that back then, water hydrants were promised, but still have not materialized.
We have ordered some pumps, I think, that will be assisting the fire department out in San Pedro and Kikaka.
Residents of San Pedro have expressed anger because they said at the last fire, which was probably a year ago, they were promised a fire truck from then. How recent is the proposal that you're speaking of to get fire trucks for the island?
That might have been true. They think the fire trucks there, especially the tanka one there, tonka one there, they're not going easy, and very, very expensive. So we were looking at a different operation in terms of trying to buy some of the water trucks. Where the 3,000 gallons for San Pedro will be the one that carry about 3,000 gallons. Most of our fire trucks, they depend on a water source to provide the water to outfire. In the case, the reason why we are looking at water trucks is to have about 3,000 gallons to start the war with.
So will the death of 4 persons cause action to be taken?
Is there a commitment from your ministry and from the larger government at hand to getting new fire trucks, because you're always supposed to be concerned about citizen safety?
Yeah, it's a constant struggle, my brother. The most recent proposal for us is to try and see how we could get some water trucks with some 3,000 gallon tanks and some 4,000 gallon tanks that will assist the fire trucks that we have. Most of the fire trucks that we currently have, if they are 20 years old, they're considered pretty good. But in some cases, they're as old as me. And so we are trying to see how we can phase them out. We recently received a donation of a fire truck for Kikaka. And so we have pledged to receive 2 fire trucks, I think one for Corozal and one for the Toledo district for PG. So those are in the pipeline, and we should have them shortly. And we also added two copper pumps, I think, for San Pedro and Kikaka. We should be getting them soon.
But it's soon a little too late for the Nunes family. Duane Moody for News 5.